Now, of course, there's not always happy endings to those situations. So what happens after that meeting occurs and the client is still interested in wanting to switch up and substitute an attorney? Does that mean that the client has to pay two personal injury lawyers, two fees from the same case? The answer is no. And again, I want to be specific to anyone who's watching this on YouTube. I'm a New York State attorney. I handle cases throughout the state, primarily in the Hudson Valley of New York and in New York City. Occasionally, I do have stuff in what's known as the Capital District and even in the Lake George area. But predominantly, my cases are in the Hudson Valley and the New York City area. So the rules and the processes I'm talking about concern things specific to New York State. So when someone has engaged a lawyer previous to meeting with me, they signed a retainer, and most likely that retainer said that the attorney is going to be entitled to a 1/3 share of any amount that's recovered on behalf of the client, and that includes, or excuse me, and that doesn't include expenses that the attorney may have already spent out of pocket to prosecute that case. So when people come to me and they've made every effort to try and resolve their differences with their previous lawyer, how do we handle this? What's the process? Well, the client would come in and sign a retainer with me and sign a couple different documents that I would end up sending to the previous lawyer or the outgoing lawyer. And during that process, I would then reach out to the lawyer and ask, to be provided with the disbursements or how much has been spent on the case by that lawyer up to this point. I would then be obligated to reimburse that lawyer. It's just basically like picking up where he or she left off, with the understanding that if there's going to be a recovery made, that there's likely going to be a fee split between myself and my predecessor. And I'm happy to say that in most cases, I can work those things out quite amicably with outgoing lawyers. In fact, there might even be people I know. And that actually just reaffirms what I said at the outset, that it's really important that I stress to my clients that they try to resolve these differences with their lawyers.